Just a little over 3 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and do what we do Friday, which is talk. Hope you guys are prepared for it. A lot of talking. Just a little over a minute now. We got plenty of things to talk about, plenty of things to discuss since HHN decided to finally do their job and wake up. We are here ready to discuss all of that from this past week and some things coming up soon. So just a little over 1 minute now. 1 minute. Get ready. This is it. This is the channel. There's Steph. There's Ryan. Hey, obviously. Here we are. Ryan from Orlando, live in the studio of our bedroom. Yeah. Woo.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, guys? How's it doing? How's everyone doing?
How's it doing?
It's one of those days. It's been a hectic week. It's been a long week for us. We've been nonstop with personal things, and we've had appointments to go do other things, and then HHN's had all these announcements, and we've had work and all that stuff. So it's been chaotic, but thank God we've been needing this. Honestly, this past whole announcement season has just been MIA.
Slow.
It's been very slow. It's been monotonous. Everybody's like, "Oh, today's the day. Today's the day," and there is never a day like that. But finally, we have stuff from HHN this week that we got. A lot of things to talk about. We have announcements. We have tickets out there. We have Scareactor Dining. We also got a speculation map, the final one. So, majority of what you see there is probably what's going to be at the event. And then what else? We got more props going out in the streets, more construction, and yeah, that's it. That's it. We're still waiting for more stuff. Yeah. I think that's it. So, how's everybody doing? Happy Friday to all of you guys. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. The way we're going to go and do today's live stream is pretty much just right out of the gate. We're going to talk about all of the announcements, information that we received from HHN, as well as HN Nightmares, and then talk about some of our, opinions and own, kind of thoughts of what the event's going on, because we've been hearing a lot of people that are very excited about it, and we've also heard the other side of the spectrum where people are not so excited. So we got a couple things to discuss, and then we'll talk about upcoming videos that we have that we're in the works with right now, and we're kind of discuss some of them in detail here, just because we feel like it's kind of important to talk about. And we know the people in here right now, you guys are all for it and everything, but I feel like it's still important to make this message, so we'll go over that later on. But we're gonna get started here. I'm excited, guys. I hope you guys are excited. We've been waiting for this for a while, a live stream where we actually have things to talk about. So we'll give it just another second, because I'm gonna get something on the screen real quick for you guys to take a look at.
Answering this quick question real quick.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Quick question real quick.
Quick question.
Do we need to purchase a Stay and Scream ticket? Just because this is an easy one to answer. Do you need a Stay and Scream ticket, or like the Scream Early ticket, if you have a daytime ticket? No. If you have a daytime ticket or an annual pass, you can get into the park and do Stay and Scream without anything additional.
Yeah.
So as long as you have an HHN ticket.
Yeah,
so
make sure you have an HHN ticket for the night at least.
Yeah.
So, a good question. That's a good question. We've actually been getting a lot of those questions about Scream Early, Stay and Scream, daytime ticket, HHN ticket. A couple people are getting confused about that. So we were supposed to film, what was it, Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. We were going to film a Stay and Scream / Scream Early ticket video. And then, of course, the speculation map came up. And then yesterday we had an appointment that we had to go out and do something, which took majority of the day. And then here we are today, set up for the live stream, and we were working on the garage the past few days. If you guys have been following us on Instagram, we've been finishing up. We are 90% done with the walls, 90% done with the hard work, and then the next 10% that we have pretty much after that, some easy decor things that we need to get in, and then fine tune some audio stuff, and then we'll be ready to go. To be honest, guys, I think this might be the last video that you guys see in this atmosphere. Maybe we might do that Stay and Scream Early ticket video tomorrow. But at the same time, we are also filming episode 1 of our Countdown to HHN series for August tomorrow, which we went ahead in the community post. We put down a kind of like an open forum. I don't know if that's the correct word, but where you guys go ahead and just put in any questions that you guys have related to HHN, or anything you want to know about us, or you want to know about Hondo, any question that you guys have. Which we've gotten a ton from you guys, both on Instagram, on YouTube. I don't know why I almost said Facebook. We don't do Facebook.
No.
But on YouTube as well. So if you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you go to our community page on our YouTube channel, and then you can go just leave a question there and maybe have your question featured. We're going to try to do as much as we can, but I know we're not going to be able to do all of them. So what we'll more than likely do is just grab a handful of them, do them in a video for our first episode, and then for our first live stream that next week, Friday. Oh my gosh, next week's August. Oh my God. For that Friday, we're going to go ahead and go over the rest of the comments and questions that we got that we didn't get a chance to go.
And we'll likely go over things that we can either go into detail on, or we haven't yet covered in a video before.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Real quick, good question right here. Yes, I'd like to know how many light bulbs are added to Universal for HHN, specifically listed by watts. Now, this is a great question. We may feature it, so just hang tight on that. I will say it's roughly around 480,000 watts just by per acre on Universal.
Sure.
We'll go. But anyways, so that's episode 1. We got filming tomorrow. We're doing Stay and Scream Early. Recording tomorrow. I'm going to try to film that and get that edited and up on Sunday. And then on Monday, we're going to get our video for episode 1 up. And then Tuesday, we are supposed to do some filming for episode 2. And then possibly Tuesday, Wednesday, one of those days, we're getting together with Unfriendly Hero to do episode 5 of our Countdown series on Instagram. And then on Friday, of course, we have our first live stream for the Countdown series. And so we got a lot coming up in this week. But let's get to some more of the exciting things. Those are things that we get excited for, that hopefully they work out for you guys. But more of the exciting stuff that we want to talk about, something we've been waiting for months and months, that HHN finally got across with us, and that is, first of all, a new house has been announced. We got The Weeknd.
We knew this was coming.
Yeah, no surprise.
Not surprised. I will say though that like up until they announced this, I was not excited for it. I was like, I don't really want that to be a house. Like, I don't really know how I feel about artists being houses. I love Billie Eilish, and when there was supposed to be the Billie Eilish house, I was like, no, I don't like that. But when they came out with the little trailer for it, it kind of like it has a good like vibe to it, and I was like, this could be a really good house. I'm actually like really excited for it now. The
editing, the filming, and of course post-production that adds all that, that funky stuff was really well done. That was something when the trailer was going on, and of course Steph and I were not the biggest Weeknd fans. We're never really ones to knock a house down until we've tried it and experienced it. But this wasn't really a house that's on the top of our list. And then, of course, this trailer came out, and the announcement came out, and it was like the Weeknd. We're like, oh, okay, whatever, cool. Which Entertainment Weekly dropped it before HHN. The HHN's been slacking. I don't know if that was something that was supposed to happen or not, but it's still like, what are they doing?
That happened with the black phone too. Remember, AMC posted that thing.
Oh yeah, AMC posted that
with that giveaway for a.
Sweepstakes
an Orlando horror event.
Yeah.
And then it was like, and then if you read the like fine print, it was like the trademarks were like Universal Orlando.
Yeah, it had Universal's trademark in there. It's like, well, we know where that's going. I mean, it's not Disney going like black phone sweepstakes. Yeah, come on, folks. But anyways, so yeah, a lot of leaks have been going on, and you guys know the T-shirt and all that kind of stuff that's been going on. But we were watching this trailer, and before we started it, we're kind of like, all right, let's watch it. We knew this was coming, no surprise. And then we watched the trailer, and we're like, wow, that was actually pretty darn good. Like, the whole filming to it, I did enjoy that one. Not my favorite one, but probably the most technical one that they had, especially to get the Weeknd out there and to do stuff like that. So that one's really well done, and it has excited us a little bit more to see it, but we're still not like majority of fans that I feel like that are like really excited for it. We're just like hoping it's good, because if it's good, then everybody's gonna enjoy it. Great, that's what we want, Yeah. But we can't really give you guys our opinions until we go through the house, which is in 1 month.
I do think that this will be one of the houses that consistently has a long line.
I feel like that too. I'm actually kind of amazed that they don't have this house in a soundstage, but the parade buildings are still pretty decent with the sizing. So good. Yeah,
like that's where Beetlejuice was, and
Beetlejuice sucked.
But it was another big house for that year.
You're talking about like Hill House and Classic Monsters, Graveyard Games. Those were good. Beetlejuice was cool, but
No, I'm just saying it was like kind of like the showstopper for the year, and they put it there.
That's true. That's true.
I don't think that they just put like their like ones that they don't care as much about in the parade buildings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's true. I get that. I hope they care about all of them, to be honest. But anyways, as you guys see here, so obviously we got the Weeknd that was announced. These are the 4 official announced houses. We got the Weeknd, we got Horrors of Blumhouse, and we got Halloween, and then probably our most anticipated right now, which is Legends Collide. Yes. Anything Classic Monsters that we're going to love. But those are the 4 official houses.
So far.
Then recently, we've had this shirt leak going out there. Now, we're not people to promote leaks. We did put this in a video recently. Or talk about them. Honestly, truly, we hate them. We really do. And the reason being is because when it comes to things like HHN, of course, like being a channel and content creators when it comes to the event, it is nice to like know things ahead of time, of course. But we want to be surprised. We want to be able to enjoy it. We honestly love seeing our viewers and the community themselves be surprised for what's coming to the event, because that's what really gets people hyped up. When things like this happen, we're kind of like, oh man, like
it kind of takes away the like excitement when the actual announcement comes out.
Yeah.
Because then there's a leak, and it's not like speculation. It's like this is happening.
Yeah.
And then you get the announcement, and you're like, yeah, we know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Not trying to knock on anybody, like whoever did it or whatever. I mean, it happens. We get it.
Yeah.
But don't do it. Don't do it again. Please. We want to enjoy the excitement of being surprised.
I will say though that, and I know we're gonna get into like the theme and all of that a little bit later, but seeing the shirt design and then seeing the All Hallows Eve boutique right now has me very, very excited for this year's event.
Oh man,
because it's all like
guys,
traditional.
we were gonna get into
Halloween,
that. We were gonna get into that, but now that you mentioned it, if you guys have not seen the All Hallows Eve boutique, I just want to call it the Halloween store at Islands.
It's so cute.
It's beautiful, guys. It's
so
like
cute.
I'm not gonna get into it fully yet. We'll have a whole segment that we talk about it later on. But if you guys haven't seen photos of it, I'll try to pull one up. But you guys need to check it out. It's looking good. It's looking really good.
And if that is any indicator of what like this year's event will be like, of course, like scarier than that, because it's like cute Halloween. But
we don't know.
If it's like traditional Halloween, like that vibe, I'm gonna be very, very happy.
I agree. I would love that. USMC Two-Face. For the majority of the community that doesn't like his music but like the aesthetic, John Murdy said that his music is being reworked to be scarier. So that would be neat. Maybe like some sharpening, like some of their pitches in there, making it darker, slower, some reverbs and stuff to make it more menacing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be really neat. First of all, thank you for the $5, by the way. Tell Lily we said hello. We're looking forward to that painting still. I showed Stephanie and some of our other people what she was working on, so we're kind of excited to have it and put it up in our studio. But yeah, so honestly, you know, we're not the biggest fans of the Weeknd, like we said, but you know, if you guys watch Stranger Things, like Argyle said, you know, try before you deny. You never know. I feel like the Weeknd is going to be a good house. I really hope for it to be a good house. And it's one of those things that we have a personal taste in like 80s music and stuff like that. And if this house works, it really opens up the door for more artists to possibly come into the event. We would really love, you know, like AC/DC, Metallica, maybe even like Billy Idol. Who else am I thinking? Simple Minds. I mean, just name any of those like bands and just have like more themes around, you know, music, artists and stuff like that. So we're really rooting for this house to do good. And honestly, the way that trailer looked, we feel like it's going to be decent. It's going to be a good house.
Honestly, after like Stranger Things this year and like people getting more into like the classic like metal music and like Metallica and stuff, I would love to see like more of that at the event.
Oh yeah, 100%. So, but moving on. So those are the 4 houses that we have officially announced for the event. So we still have 6. Technically, we're waiting for HHN to kind of confirm and put out there officially. We're also waiting for some scare zones. We have no confirmation in scare zones. We did talk about in our last live stream some of the photos of Hollywood, but there's other locations throughout that are starting to pop up more and more. Like New York is starting to really come together, as well as Central Park. You can start seeing some like scaffolding. You can see even like larger prop sets that they're working on in a sense. You can see where they're taping off and they're marking areas on the road. If you guys really like look, you can see what they're setting up. So it's gonna be good. We got a lot coming up, guys. So anyways, this is of course the website. If you guys didn't know, whoop-de-doo. But let's look at some tickets real quick. Tickets on sale now. Which I want to know, is anybody in the chat right now who has not purchased their HHN ticket that plans to go yet? I'm truly worried if you guys haven't. No, I'm not really worried. You'll be fine. But
yeah, you'll be fine.
I'll tell you what, like being locals, and we were waiting for these bad boys right here, these frequent fear passes to go on sale. It was getting a little worrisome, and we know they're going to come out, but it's like, you know, the event's one month away. We want to know we're at least going. So it was a little worrisome, but when we finally got those, I think that was the best part of that announcement that we got on Tuesday. Of course, you got the house, but then you had frequent fear passes come out.
Everybody's saying so not yet.
Nobody's got them? Oh, no.
Somebody said they got Rush of Fear.
Plus Express,
With
there you
Express,
go. Yeah, let us know. Did you guys get just single night tickets? Did anybody get like Rush of Fear, Frequent Fear passes, any Express pass added on there? We want to know, because this year
we decided to.
We had to really pull out some cash. But
last year we literally like week 3 of the event, we were like, we're like saving starting now. We were saving up and we were doing Express Pass next year because there were so many nights that we went and the lines were so long that we were just like, we'll walk around the scare zones and then just leave. So we were like, we're gonna do Express Pass this year. But Why do you keep doing that?
The people who got Express Pass, I'm giving them. Yeah,
Like, what are you,
I'm giving
what are you
the
doing?
Drax sign. Yes, Express. Everybody,
Yes,
look at that.
Express.
Valerie got Express, and you know, like for instance, like Steph said, we didn't have Express last year, which is fine. You don't need Express to be able to do a good majority of the event. You don't.
Yeah.
There's luck always added in there, but Express Pass is always something that we enjoy having. We had it one night last year for opening night, and of course it like rained, so majority of the lines weren't too long.
It wasn't really, yeah.
We didn't need it.
We didn't need it.
But we're excited to have it in our actual like passes this year, so we can try to go through multiple houses especially when we plan to do some videos at the event. We have some fun videos planned out, of course. We're gonna do the scare zones and all that. So being able to at least go and do like a house without really waiting for so long is gonna be beneficial for us, and we're gonna enjoy it. So yeah, so freaking Fear out, guys. Express passes, all that. I mean, Express has been out for a while, but these add-ons. Not only did we get the frequent Fear passes that we've been waiting for so long, but look at this beauty. Solid $54.99 for Scareactor Dining.
I'm so excited this is back because we've never been able to do it.
No, never. Never,
No.
ever. This is
No.
our first year.
Yeah.
So this is like our first year at HHN.
Which we're so sad that it's not going to be at Monsters.
Yeah.
But
so
it's
like
fine.
we're sad because it's not at Monsters Cafe, and when you see Monsters Cafe, it's like it's demolished. It's so gone. But then it's being held at Louis, and man, that's a move by HHN or just Universal in general that we're just really confused about.
I just think that's probably the next largest space that they can like do all of that. Because even if you think about, okay, the other restaurant that they might have is like, they wouldn't do it at Finnegan's because that's a stay and scream area. They wouldn't do it at Mel's because there's no like buffet sort of setup.
Yeah.
And then what's the other, like Richter's? There's not really a buffet setup. So I feel like Louis is the only other option.
Yeah. The sad thing is when you look at, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the square footage from Louis and Monsters Cafe, Louis is technically smaller because they have certain portions in there that couldn't really be opened up. And the one thing that I don't like about Louis, and you know, I'm not trying to knock it, but one thing I don't like is, first of all, it's not themed. So they're going to have to theme it. But also, we went in the other day, and Louis was jam-packed with just normal guests. I'm wondering how they're going to be able to theme it. Are they going to... I doubt they're going to close it off during their, you know, the daytime operating, but they really have to theme it, because if not, you're like an Italian pizza quick restaurant kind of thing. And it's very open. I don't like the fact that it's very open. It kind of reminds me of being in like a Disney
like character
dining experience where, you know, the characters just revolve around the table, you know, and then you just get revolvements. Monsters Cafe really had nice, like, tighter corridors in a sense where you felt more private with the scare actor, but it was still on a larger scale. But then with Louis, like I said, the theming is not there. The spacing is kind of It's just, the vibe is just a little weird. So we're gonna go. We're gonna test it out and see how it goes. We are excited, but I'm just hoping at least the food is at least subpar, at least. And then I'm excited to see what characters we get this year, especially if they do that traditional like Halloween vibe.
Yeah,
excited to see that.
Zoe did make a good point that they do also have La Bamba, Cafe La Bamba, but I feel like that is pretty small. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, they also don't they use that for
the RIP tours?
RIP tours, I believe. They started using that.
So maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. The Cafe La Bamba could work out, but then that means I think they would have to sell a smaller, like, ticket portion for Scareactor Dining. So I think they would want to go with the largest one they had possible. That's a good point, though. So. But yeah, so Scareactor Dining is coming this year. We're excited to see it. We're going to do a video. We've had a couple people message us asking what day we're going, and I do apologize. We've had hundreds of comments this whole week, and we're trying to keep up with it, as well as setting the garage and doing the videos. But we're going to be going the 8th, September 8th. We're going to go and test out Scareactor Dining. Yep. We wanted to do it opening weekend, and then we thought with all the work that personally we have outside of HHN that we had to finish up that weekend, we're like, we need one day to just enjoy it.
To just enjoy the event.
So we decided,
not film.
Not film. So we decided like next week we'll go ahead and do the Scareactor Dining. So we're gonna do it the 8th. So that second week we'll have Scareactor Dining, and then my favorite part, I think, late September, early October, we're gonna do food and drinks. Yeah. food and drink video. So
You bring that up every single live.
you know we're gonna
So
have one live dedicated whenever like HHN actually like makes announcements of food and drinks coming to the event.
Just talk about
We're
food.
just gonna talk about food, guys. So that live I'm looking forward to. That's gonna be my favorite one. But we also have Scream Early Ticket. That one came out. Like we said, we're not gonna spend too much time on it here. But we're gonna do a video either tomorrow or Sunday where we'll film it and get it up in the next few days. Just to kind of go over it because we know a couple people were confused about it. And it is confusing. It does sound confusing. Stay in Scream Early Ticket.
Yeah.
You know, like I get it. Yeah.
Do you need?
What
the
do you
ticket to
need?
get
Which
the Stay in
one?
Scream?
Yeah. So we'll go over that more in depth so you guys have more of a clear understanding. But let me go ahead. I want to pull up. Oh, look, that's us. I want to pull up one more thing now. And this is probably the next segment of our live. Like I said, guys, we're at what? At 30 minutes. This live, we're going to be non-stopping, gunning, whatever you want to call it, with all the announcements we got this week. Thank God we've had them. But next up, we got the very next day, we woke up, and little did we know we were going to get the final speculation map.
This was also kind of almost forced because of that leak. They were like, well, I guess we'll just put this out there because
Yeah, maybe.
it's already out, you know?
Putting this up real quick. Well, I almost lost the screen for a second.
Mhm.
But yeah, so here's the final speculation. This is version 4 from HN Nightmares. And as you guys see, we got all 10 houses, 5 scare zones, 2 shows. Now, we really didn't have much of a change from the last speculation map to this. When it comes to houses, there were some name changes in there, but really the biggest thing that we saw was we lost Evil Dead. Unfortunately, we personally were hoping for an Evil Dead house.
Yeah, it would have been cool.
But then we got Prison Original. So it's an original concept. We don't know what it is. We don't even know if it's going to be actually a prison or anything.
Yeah.
But for the fact that when you look back at HHN, like history and lore and stuff, we have a couple things related to prisons and stuff, and one of them being Hellgate Prison. A lot of people like said like, oh, it could be that. We've had people say like maybe like Shady Brook Asylum, like maybe something towards that, or a story on its own, something completely like brand new that we haven't seen.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't love like the prison like trope when it comes to haunted houses. I've been through like, of course not a Horror Nights one, but I've been through other haunted houses that have like the prison thing, and I'm not a huge fan of it.
Yeah, I'm not fans of
I
like
just don't really care for that.
prison themed type of stuff.
Yeah.
Now last year they did have in Scary, that house, Scary, Ohio. Welcome, Horror in the Heartland. Welcome, Horror. Welcome, Horror. Horror in the Heartland. Last year they had a scene at the very end of the house, which was actually related to Hellgate Prison. So if you guys got to go through Scary last year and you saw that, it might be like aesthetics like that.
Yeah.
Even a house named Run, which was back in 25, HHN 25, it could be something tied in with that as well. But we really don't know. To be honest, we really don't care. As long as the house is really good, that's all we really want. But yeah, so we got Prison. And then I know we got somebody in the chat, Zach Nobles. I know you're in the chat here. Let's talk about scare zones. Treeks and Foons got the boot. Treeks and Foons are out of there. And replaced by Covens Witches, which not to bring your day down now, bud, but we'll take Covens Witches over Treeks and Foons.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But Treeks and Foons, hey, good scare zone in the past and stuff. We did enjoy it when it was in lights, camera, action. One thing that I loved, especially when it came to filming, when, you know, HHN, everything's at night for the most part. Those were the only characters that could really pop on screen at night. So that was one thing I enjoyed. But to get Covens Witches, that's exciting. Like, we love the fact that they're going with witches more and more because we really haven't seen many witches in, like, HHN recent years. Except for, I think in 28, we had it in Scary Tales. And then last year in Wicked Growth, we had that whole... I mean, pretty much a good majority of the house was themed with witches in the fact.
Yeah.
Which we loved it. I don't know if you guys remember the second witch that you saw in Wicked Growth.
Yeah.
The one that was to the right. And she would yell like, I'm the pretty one, right?
Yeah.
Like, we love that every time. I don't know why. That just became something that we've enjoyed so much with the Scareactor.
She had a name, and I forget what it was. But I remember the scare actors who played her said that she has like a name.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
That's so funny. I forget what it was though.
Oh gosh, Wicked Growth was great.
Yes.
But
can we talk about the theme again? Or did you have other things?
No, we can move on to the theme. Why not? One thing I was gonna say is like then we also got the Vampire Zone kicked out and Deadly Unrest.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which could still, I don't know.
It could still be vampires, but to be honest, I think the traditional Halloween scare zone might feature like vampires, ghosts, which is like all of them, which
think it's gonna be like
moves into our.
You think it's gonna be like all of them, or do you think it'll be like dead people, like zombies and stuff?
Deadly Unrest?
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be just more of like ghosts type of deal.
Yeah.
Ghosts, goblins, ghouls. Could be zombies.
True.
You know,
We'll see.
I mean, we don't know. like I said, Steph and I try not to get too much into like the leaks or like the speculations. We like to try to be surprised so we can enjoy a little bit more as like a guest perspective. That's what I say. But yeah, so speculation map. That's pretty much what we have. That's changed. But let's talk about.
We did get a few questions on our like most anticipated on the speculation map. So do you want to do that real quick?
Okay. Yeah, we were going to go into the theming. All right, let's say this. Well, okay. I don't know why I got so confused for a second. My head just exploded. The speculation map is a speculation map, so we normally don't really publicly put out like our most anticipated list for this.
Yeah, until it's all announced.
Yeah, we wait until like late August once they got all the houses official and scare zones. And then last year we did a video on it. This year we'll also do a video as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I can say, I guess we can go over like what's your top 3 most anticipated, and that's a combine of houses and scare zones. What is the top 3 things you're looking forward to? Out of those.
Oh, that's tough.
Everybody comment down too, by the way. Out of all the houses and scare zones put together, you get to pick the top 3 things you're looking forward to out of houses and scare zones. It's only 3 answers you get. Are they going to be 3 houses, 3 scare zones, or a mixture between the both?
I will say...
I'd like to know.
Legends Collide. 100%. I'm actually really excited for the Weeknd.
Like top 3 of all things?
I am. I think that's like my number 2 most anticipated. I'm excited to see what they do with that. And then
what?
Spirits of the Coven. I would say like one of the scare zones, but honestly like the last few years, like I haven't been a huge fan of any of the scare zones.
Yeah.
So I don't have a ton of hope for them. But I think those are my most anticipated houses for sure.
Okay. I'm gonna agree with you with Legends Collide.
Yeah.
I think Legends Collide is like the one thing we're both looking forward to more than anything. My number 2 most anticipated is gonna be the traditional Halloween scare zone. Like Stephanie say, I agree. The scare zones have been very lackluster, especially last year. Last year in particular, the scare zones were lackluster. 2019 kind of like dropped the ball as well, in our opinion.
Yeah.
But, and I'll get into this a little bit later in this live stream too. But I feel like HHN and Universal is really good with listening to their fans and stuff. And I feel like they realized that not a lot of fans were excited about last year's scare zones and how they turned out to be. And of course, we had a whole, situation with like the plexiglass and the stages and all that stuff. So I think this year it's gonna feel more turned up than usual.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm excited for the traditional Halloween if they can really make it that vibe. So that's my number 2. And then my number 3, I'm probably gonna do Spirits of the Coven. I think I'm gonna do the Witch House as well.
I will also say that I feel like when we see the speculation map, we get excited for certain things because we have an idea of what it's going to be like, and then they announce it, and there's like the little blurb that goes along with it, and like maybe the photo, you know what I mean, that they put on the website, and then sometimes it's like a completely different backstory than we thought, and then we're like, ooh, I like that, because that's how we were with Case Files last year when they were talking about. I think that one wasn't really speculated much, but when
that was like a last minute thing that came up.
But when it did come out, like that went close to the top of our list because we were like, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So once we get like the description of all of them, we'll have a better idea.
Yeah. We got pizza fries.
Yes.
Winner. Big winner right there.
See, I'm hoping that they have pizza fries at Louis for the
dining?
Scareactor Dining.
That'd be nice. I don't know. That could be dangerous.
I hope they also have the s'mores fries. I like those.
I don't think I've ever had that. So.
You wouldn't like it. We've talked about it.
Yeah, that's true. We talk about it all the time.
Because it's sweet potato.
Yeah. So that's kind of our anticipation, I guess. Like top 3 of all things, houses and scare zone wise for what's on the speculation map. But let's talk about something a little more fun. Let's talk about the theming of this year. Let's talk about traditional vintage Halloween meets Halloween Horror Nights at Universal for HHN 31.
I'm thinking like literally Wicked Growth, but like everywhere. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm hoping for.
I hope so.
Now, Stephanie did say this, and we talked about it earlier in the live stream, if you guys are just now joining in, but the All Hallows Eve Boutique, also known as just a Halloween store in Islands of Adventure, is now starting to transform into its Halloween-themed kind of style. And it's very classic, vintage Halloween. And we're not talking about and this is, I think, what I'm very excited about for this year that I think is going to surprise a lot of people, and why I have a little bit of a message to say at the end of this video, and why we're going to create a whole entire video around this message. But I feel like one thing that's very special, if HHN could really dial in on this and focus on what the objective is with this theme, it's not about Halloween Horror Nights, but it's more about Halloween, the holiday. We all have our own memories, our own personal connection with the holiday Halloween. Whether you go to HHN, you've never been to HHN, you do, at-home trick-or-treating, whether you're, a parent who has kids that you go trick-or-treating with, or whether you remember going trick-or-treating when you were kids, or if you just hated Halloween up until 5 minutes ago. I feel like if they really focus on this theme, I think it could really kind of hit that nostalgic vibe for a lot of people in their own way, in their own memories. We were talking about this earlier, where I feel like when I look at the vibe that's going and what they could do and what I'm hoping for, it reminds me of when I was younger, and I remember it being October, and we were decorating the house, and I remember getting dressed up in my costumes and then going trick-or-treating with my family and stuff. And I'm hoping this event kind of sparks something like that. Now, it is HHN, so I have a feeling they're going to make it more on the scarier side, but they can still touch the vibe with the music, the ambiance, which is my always most anticipated thing every year, is just the atmosphere. It's the ambiance. And I feel like if they can put that classic vintage Halloween sound, very just tacky, and the lighting and
scary,
stuff.
But still
of course, but scary. You're going to have your scare actors be able to get involved with the mix and stuff. Kind of make a cute little ghost and just twist it a little bit, where it makes it not so normal, where it makes you kind of question it, makes you feel creeped out about it, gives it that animalistic vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I'm hoping for.
I like this comment. That the pumpkin scare zone. So that was Central Park. It was Twisted Traditions in 2018. Yeah, exactly like that. And also kind of Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
We're
Trick or Treat's
it's very traditional Halloween, but it's still scary.
I personally think I haven't really talked about this, but
I also agree with this. Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt.
Go ahead, you take
I also agree with this. I think Halloween 3 has more of that, because it's about trick or treating. It's about the masks and all of that. I agree. I think Halloween 3 would have been perfect if that's what they're going for this year, but they decided.
But see, Halloween 3. I mean, I've never seen Halloween 3. Is Halloween 3 scary compared to Halloween the first one? Because I think the first one's scarier. Am I wrong?
I mean, I guess it depends. Yeah, I mean, I would say that the first one's scarier, but
the story of Michael versus.
Yeah, but they could still make it scary.
Yeah, no, true. But I feel what HHN, and this is what I'm saying, where they're going to have that HHN twist, is they bring something they could have done Halloween 3, but they chose to go with Halloween 1, which is still that classic slasher type of deal, but they're making it on their level of scare, in a sense, to make it part with that.
Yeah, I agree. Halloween 3 is not traditionally scary, but it does have some
that vibe.
Like he said, disturbing imagery.
What I would really love is if the park, if they really hit, I'm saying, if they really dial in on this. What's up? Yeah.
Okay.
If I got you.
Okay.
Stephanie's in charge of the comments, and it's
sometimes he just goes, and I'm
look,
okay.
Me and Stephanie, you guys see us, and we're always like, yay, happy and all, but we butt heads way more than you guys know. When it comes to things like this, Steph's in charge of the comments, and I'm in charge of just like always talking, which is a problem because I will never stop talking, especially if I get excited. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited.
Okay.
What I would really love is if they really hit home with this whole traditional Halloween vibe. If Universal becomes one location, kind of like they did back in Islands of Fear when they had Terra Cruentus, and they made like Universal just like it's a traditional place. Call it, let's just say Salem, whatever, right? The location's a traditional place, and like the traditional Halloween is your traditional Halloween zone, but the entire park has that overlay of like pumpkins and that theming and the orange and purple lights in a sense. Then you got like witches in one little zone of a forest or whatever. You got Scarecrow, which is the farm on the edge of town. You got the cemetery there. I think something like that where you have that vibe throughout the park would be really cool. But honestly, I could be wrong.
Honestly, it could go along with like what we're seeing in the tribute store right now with like all the little clippings and all of that. Like it could be one whole story, which would be really cool.
I hope so. I think this could be the year to do it. But we got to get to something because our Drac Pack member Jim Daniels, thanks for getting me even more excited. Bring on the vamps. Yeah. I was thinking maybe we should do like at some point some live streams where we add our teeth in and everything. We can show our fangs and all for you guys.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for the 50, Jim.
Those are really hard to talk in. We would be like,
not really.
Hey
guys, how you doing? Welcome to the channel.
Not like that.
That's how I sounded when I wore.
Really?
Yeah. I never actually got to, so fun fact, Jim, you brought it up. We're going to mention it real quick. In 2019, when, we were Dracula and the Bride of Dracula, Stephanie got to show her face and be able to wear the fangs and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I had to wear the skin-tight mask. So I never really got to try the fangs except for one day. I think, like, in fitting, I tried one piece on. And I sounded horrible.
So here's a little, like, behind the scenes, I guess. Originally, his character, Dracula, in that house was supposed to be, like, fangs, contacts, and all everything, prosthetics. And
they were gonna even raise my head a bit. They were gonna arch my shoulders.
And like a wig and everything. And like
I was gonna be able to fly.
Full on like prosthetics rather than a mask.
Yeah.
And a lot of times like prosthetics are like very timely for them to do. Like it would take...
And costly, yeah.
Yeah, it would take one like... So there's 4 Draculas in that house. Like at... So two in the house, one for each cast. There's 2 casts.
Yeah.
So then, you'd have to have 4 makeup artists basically because it would take an hour to put the prosthetics on.
I can't remember who I was talking to about this.
End up doing it.
But before we started our fitting and stuff, and they were explaining to me the process, they would say we got there at 3 to 4 o'clock or whatever. I think it was like 4 something. Am I right? 4 something? It was like 4 something. That we had to clock in and get ready for the event. But if we were to do like Dracula, like the prosthetics and all, we would have probably had to get there around 3 to start the prosthetic process. And then as long as it takes to put on, it takes almost just as long to get off.
To take it off.
So imagine like, that just scared the heck out of me. Did y'all see that?
What happened?
It just died.
Oh.
That's weird. Oh my gosh, that scared me. I literally was looking at you and I thought somebody like, oh my god, okay. Dracula's hearing us. But we would get off at like 2 a.m., sometimes 3 a.m. And as long, like if it takes me an hour to put that stuff on, it would take me an hour to take it off. So the sun would be rising and, Dracula doesn't do well with the sun. But yeah, so just fun little insider. We may talk more about that in a video in the future.
Yeah, we've been tossing around the idea of doing a video about like scare acting and stuff, but...
Yeah. Now, Crystal Halloween, love the name on it, just wanted to say hi. Hello. Glad I found your channel a few months ago. So hyped for HHN 31. I have a feeling this year's event is going to be the biggest, best, and busiest.
That's a lot of bees.
What do you two think? I'm going to tell you what. I think it's going to be the busiest.
You think it's going to be the busiest?
I have a feeling it is.
I feel like, I mean, it keeps getting busier and busier every year, so I wouldn't be surprised. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't as busy as like the years when we had Stranger Things and Haunting of Hill House, where like, and Beetlejuice, where they're very like mainstream, like people who normally wouldn't go to a horror event are like, oh well, I love Stranger Things, even though I don't really care for like other horror related things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to combat that. You ready?
With what? The Weeknd?
The Weeknd is one thing, but we had a lot of people who went last year for the first time who are going this year as
Again,
well.
That's true.
People like Steph and I who've been going, every year since the start, well, not the start, but as long as we've been going, we're going to be going again, and we're going to be going next year and the year after that. And these first timers who went last year, they love the event so much, they're going to be going again this year. And we're going to have more first timers here. So the event is continuously growing. Yeah. But then you got houses like the Weeknd, who it's not a horror genre, like heavy genre type of thing. He's more of a music artist, but he does display horror elements and theming in his music and all that stuff, especially in his videos and stuff. We did get to watch. I watched 2 of them. I think you've only seen one of them, maybe.
No, I haven't seen any of them.
Blinding Lights.
I saw
technically,
those
but
pieces.
Yeah. So his aesthetics in that's really well done. But the music and all that stuff, you might have people who just listen to his music that doesn't even know that he has these type of horror themes that will like, oh, I'm gonna go see the Weeknd at Universal, So I feel like we'll have a growth from that as well, from a different crowd. But I will say, not the biggest, but possibly the best in depending on what you're looking for.
It really, that's very subjective, because like you're gonna have a lot of people last year who loved last year because it was very HHN fan, like old school. They had the icons, they had like Legendary Truth and Scary. But we also heard from a lot of people who maybe it was their first time go through like Scary and Case Files and be like, I did not understand that at all. And maybe they would enjoy something that's a little bit more just like your regular like Halloween themed or haunted house event thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's very subjective.
That's true.
Because you're going to have people who like love the icons, and any year that an icon
like
is
HHN 25.
That's their favorite year. Yeah. But like for us, we aren't like the biggest icon.
I would say like fans. Lore, like backstory.
Yeah.
Where like the icons get involved. But another reason why I think they're going to be big, and you might have mentioned this, I may have just overheard it, but it's supposed to be like classic Halloween. It's more focused on the holiday. So I feel like a lot of people are going to be able to enjoy that in a sense. And when they get to go opening week and the next week, they're going to be like, oh, and even like for people like us and any other content creators who are in here, when you go and film like opening week and other people who are still on the fence about going, they see these videos and if HHN could really hit that, they're like, wow, that's Halloween. Like we got to go see that. So I feel like it's going to be an interesting year. If HHN drops the ball on this, I'm going to be really disappointed. But if they, if they hit it on the head right there, I think this is going to be one of the best.
I think they have something up their sleeve.
We'll see.
I think so.
We'll see. But thank you so much, Crystal, for the $9.99.
I really
appreciate that.
I really do think that they saw the like popularity of Wicked growth last year, and they're like, let's just run with that. And that's like, hopefully, maybe I'm just getting myself hyped up, and it's not going to be like that.
I don't know.
But I would love that.
One thing we do terribly, I do the worst, is where you hype yourself up for something so much that you go see it and it doesn't live up to it. But that's why I'm trying to be cautious about this year. Yeah. But kind of speaking about that, but also let me check the camera battery real quick.
Elizabeth set up here. She said the lightsaber got energy drained a la Nope. So we did see Nope. I wanted to bring that up real quick. Because you said like we get excited for things and then it doesn't live up to the hype. But I can tell you that I think Nope lived up to the hype. I really liked it. We
saw the first trailer for Nope and we were excited. The second trailer, I ended up hating the fact that they even put that trailer up. I did not want to see Nope. Then, of course, we got tickets. We went to see it, and we walked out of there saying, wow, that was a really good movie. There's points I can see why people were confused or why they didn't like it, but the sound quality to me in that movie was one of the best that I've heard in a long time.
The sound was amazing.
There's some good usage that they had in there. There's some good elements, just like, cinematography and filming perspectives that I personally was like enjoying. Like,
it's
whoa,
just the
like
vibe
that,
of it. We won't say any spoilers, but the vibe of it was like there were so many genres happening at once, and it just like worked.
It was good. It was really good. Now, could it be at the event? Yes and no. I can see them doing it as a house, but they would really have to start working on it in January.
I can't see that.
And do it this whole, and it's a lot of like production.
That's the same feeling I have about people wanting Midsummer. It's not going to happen. That's how I feel about this. Like, it's just impossible. But,
I wear my sunglasses.
Did you see Santa Ben said
can.
The monkey scenes were amazing? Those were my favorite scenes too. Brian did not like the monkey scenes. No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers, but the monkey scenes, like, of course Stephanie liked it. When that was happening, I remember being in the chair like, why is no one moving?
Our whole theater was silent.
Oh, it was silent. And that's what I'm saying about the sound quality of this movie, was the fact that in the theaters, I felt like we were an audience transported into that scene where it was just like, oh, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom, but I don't want to move. So
I love those scenes.
But yeah, that was a good point.
I want to see it again. Honestly, it was so good.
Yeah, we'll see it again. I have a feeling we will.
Yeah.
Now, another video that we're going to talk about, that we're going to create is, and this is getting into that kind of talk we need to have, the HHN community, we need to have a talk. We need to have a talk. But we don't really have much, as in, what should you watch to get ready for this year's event? It's more of an original heavy type of year, which is fine. HHN's original house is always some of the best. Last year, Wicked Growth is a testament to that.
Yeah. Like,
by far. But then you got things like Haunting of Hill House last year, which that was also very well done. It was a beautiful show, beautiful house. And Wicked Growth, you can't do anything to prepare yourself for. You just kind of show up and enjoy it. Whereas in Haunting of Hill House, you can actually watch the show. This year, you have the original classic, Halloween 1978. So watch that. Legends Collide, can't really watch anything. It's an original story that we're going to get from Universal. So that's why we personally count it as originals in a sense. Then you got The Horrors of Blumhouse, Freaky, and Black Phone, which, watch those movies and stuff. Black Phone is, very bleak movie. It was decently done, but Freaky was like complete opposite of what the Black Phone is. Yeah. However, it was a fun watch. And then you got The Weeknd. You got to watch his music, which is not necessarily like watching a movie.
But doesn't he have a movie?
Yeah, it's all the short clips added up into it. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. When it comes to like actual like concrete things to watch, just because we don't have many IPs, especially in the scare zones. The scare zones look like they're all just type like originals. You don't have scare zones that in years past we had like Rob Zombie, Hillbilly Deluxe, so some of his musics, and you had what was it? Zombieland Double Tap 2. That was a recent one. That was also a movie you can get into. We don't have that this year. Chucky was one, but for something like this year, we'll try to make a video that kind of gets people like, hey, what should you watch to lead up? But I would say watch like very classic horror movies. I'm talking like vintage, maybe in 70s and 80s even. Watch that stuff to kind of get that vibe of what old Halloween was, and maybe even some like kid-friendly type of Halloween movies, just to get the spirit of Halloween, like the holiday. I feel like, dialing on that, I think that's what this year is going to capture. That's what I feel. I might be wrong. Majority of the time, I'm wrong.
That's what I would say. We'll get a better idea once we have more announcements. I really do feel like it's going to be the same thing as last year, where they just have all of the originals that they just dump at once.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Now, the one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, we're going to make a video about this, but we've actually had a good amount of people message us and say that they feel like this year's not living up to the hype and that it's probably not worth going to HHN. We understand where you're coming from. especially with all the leaks that you had. HHN's so behind. Well, I wouldn't say behind. Their announcements have been very late this year compared to years past. And we can see where it kind of sucks that energy out of you, where you're sitting there and you're waiting. And, when the thing never shows up, you're just kind of, you lose hope day by day. Of course, HHN is happening. We know that. It's going to be there. It's going to be a great year. The IPs aren't as strong as we've had in other years of the event. I will say that. However, though, Halloween is going to be a good classic. Legends Collide, which is a classic monsters. All classic monsters have been very well done at Universal. That's going to be a good one. Then you have Horrors of Blumhouse, which I'm hoping has been better than years past. So we're going to stay hopeful.
There's been good Blumhouse houses.
Yeah.
But the most
it's been a while,
recent
guys.
one, unfortunately, wasn't great.
It's
I will
one of
say that as somebody who was in that house.
It's one of those properties that feel like it's been overused a little bit. So I feel like they need to take a break on it, and if they're bringing it back, it's got to be very strong. If not, I don't want to see it again. It's my opinion.
I do think that the black foam parts of the house could be really scary.
Yeah. I mean,
could be.
Even freaky.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn just jumps out at you. It's like 6'4" and
that would be scary.
I don't know how I feel about. I mean, that'd be cool to see Vince Vaughn in the house, but I don't know. And then The Weeknd, which popular music artist, which I'm not a fan of The Weeknd, so it's not like, oh, I'm excited for that, but his music quality is good, the storyline is good, and I'm hoping for a good house. But then you got originals pretty much after that. Now, like I said, you can't watch anything to hype yourself up, but it's one of those things where I think it's very important if you love Halloween as a holiday and HHN goes along. Now, this ain't confirmed. We don't know. We're just going off the speculation that it's a traditional Halloween year. If they go along with that route of that being the theme, then majority of people are going to enjoy it for the fact that it's going to give you good memories from the past. Maybe. But from what I'm thinking is it's going to remind me of when I was a kid and what Halloween stood for. And to see how I went from somebody who did not like scary things on Halloween to now absolutely being a huge fan of HHN and all things Halloween. And somebody like you who's always been a fan of Halloween, and to see an event like HHN say, hey, we're going to go traditional Halloween and we're going to knock this out of the park. So I feel like it's going to bring good memories for people. Just give you good kind of like classic Halloween, like the holiday, not just HHN. We all love HHN, but if they can touch the holiday, then you're getting it all at one location. So I tell people, like, don't feel like this year is going to let you down. And, maybe your opinion's different. You might go and you might not like it. But HHN always does a great job year round. And if they really do this theming around the event and make it classic like that, I feel like it's something we can all appreciate and understand to a deeper meaning than past years.
And it would make sense because it's the 31st.
Yeah, 31, baby. HHN, 31 years. So, but I just realized we've been at an hour, which means the battery is low. The battery's kind of low. But I think we have a few minutes. We've been on for an hour and 2 minutes right now, it said. I think we can do the next 3 to 5 minutes or so if you guys have any questions or you want to discuss anything, or what are you guys more excited about with, the final speculation? Excuse me, the final speculation map being out with 4 houses being announced, and pretty soon we should be getting those originals to be completely just dumped out and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering when we're going to get the streets, like the scare zones and the shows.
Yeah.
I want to know when those are coming
in. First question, at least the IC popped up. How many years have you guys been going? We actually have only been going as guests since, HHN Light, I guess, in 2020.
I don't count.
But last year was our first year officially as guests because
together.
Brian worked at 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, 17, 18, 19.
And I worked at 18, 19.
Yeah. So you worked at HHN 19 over, 11 years ago?
What? No, I'm talking about 2019.
Oh, 2019. Yeah.
2018, 2019. And he worked at 2017, 2018, and 2019.
Yeah. My first time to HHN, though, was HHN 24. I went one night as a guest. But, and that, honestly, going that night kind of sparked, ooh, what is this? This is cool. But every year that we've gone, we've been just so busy with scare acting and stuff that we never got to enjoy the event from a guest perspective. So this past year was our first time seeing it from the eyes of the guests. And, that's so awesome. Even it's just like they're so different.
It's so different.
They're so different.
People ask like, "What do you prefer?" And it's so different. It's always like that. Like the grass is greener when you're like when you're like sitting backstage and you're on your break and you feel like you've just sat down and they're like, "Okay, line up,
10 minutes,
go back in the house."
Yeah,
you're like, I wish I was a guest out there right now. But then when you're a guest, at least for me. Because I danced at Universal, like going last year and watching Nightmare Fuel, I like shed a tear every time because I was like, I want that to be me. But
I don't know. There's some nights where Drax cape and all that was dripping in sweat. The mask was dripping in sweat. I don't really miss that, to be honest.
No,
and to put that back on, they're like, line up. It's like, oh my gosh.
It's being a scare actor is grueling.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of fun.
It is.
But
fun.
I think we prefer being. Or at least we really enjoy being guests, and I think we we have an appreciation for the event because we worked it, so we know like what goes into it.
Yeah, a small scale of what goes into it.
Yeah, very small scale.
There's teams that work on HHN year round.
All year.
I mean, literally, as we're speaking, they're rushing to get this, like, all things finalized, and once they got it, they go to opening weekend, they're like, all right, next year. They're already focusing on next year, which is it's incredible. But our favorite dolphin, Artemis, this year is going to be awesome. $19.99. Thank you so much for that, Artemis. But yeah, I gotta agree, man. I think this year is gonna surprise a lot of people. I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be something very special and unique that we may only get this year. I think we're only gonna get it this year, to be honest. So I to those people who don't think it's worth it, try before you deny, right? As Argyle said. But I think it's going to be something very special where you're going to appreciate the event and the holiday more.
Hopefully.
And
then I did see this question, but now I lost it. What our favorite year was. And I think we like kind of agree, but also kind of differ because I think 2018 was...
For what? 2019?
Our favorite year. Because I think your favorite year is 2019, right? My favorite year, I think, has to be 2018. That was my first year, and that's my favorite scare zone, which is Vamp 85. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. That was that year. Also, one of my favorite houses, Slaughter Cinema. Poltergeist was amazing that year.
Honestly, I like 2019 for like the music that they had. It was more synth 80s, and even the houses in 2019 I loved. But 2018 was a strong 80s retro. Like that was like the houses there were very strong. It's just 2018, 2019 to me were like sisters. To be honest, like they paired so well back to back, and it was a good clash. Yeah, man, that was just those years were great.
Yeah,
and we've only got to experience them as scare actors, but
yeah, but I did go as a guest
a couple nights. Yeah, that's right.
In both 2018 and 2019, I went as a guest like 1 or 2 nights.
Let me see something quick. Oh, yeah, we got like 2 minutes.
Okay, this is a good question. So, after being a scare actor, do you judge houses now? Yes. Yeah.
Yes. What do you mean, like
Definitely.
yes? Yeah, we always do.
So I feel like we can see things in the houses that maybe some people wouldn't notice on like their first, go around or their
a different
first time
perspective
through.
And insight.
And for somebody like Brian, that makes it a lot easier to go through the houses because it's not as scary. But for somebody like me, like it kind of takes away from it a little bit because I want to be scared and it's hard to scare me when I go through the houses. So like I will try my hardest not to see where the boo holes are, not to see where the speakers are, because I'm like, I know that's a scare, and I don't want to know that it's a scare because I want to be scared.
I agree with you on that, though. Like I slowly becoming the person where it's like I don't need to know how the events run in order to just like enjoy it or be scared and all, because I mean they do a great job, but we walk in and it's like I can tell like, oh, this is a mirror, scare effect. Like you can tell like there you can see in the flooring the patterns, you can see certain things that we see as we're walking through where we can kind of figure it out and all. But other than that, we enjoy it, but it also feels like we have a connection with the scare actors since we've been on that side too. So we appreciate not only just like the way the house looks or the costumes and masks, but like the movements of the scare actors. Like certain scare actors will do certain things and stuff. I'm like, man, like that's really neat. Like I like that. And there's other things that they do where I'm like, that would work perfect over here and stuff. So we see things a little differently, possibly, compared to maybe somebody who's just like going through the house as a guest. But
I will say that like when we come across like a scare actor that you can tell is like literally putting their everything into that role,
they're sweating.
Like that's really cool to see as people who were scare actors, because you know how hard that job is and how like especially towards the end of the night you just want to go home and sleep, and you don't want to be like putting your everything into it on like your fourth set of the night. But when we see like scare actors who are doing that, it's like we have a lot of respect for like that person or that character.
I agree. Yeah. Well put. Good job.
Thanks.
But anyways, Jim Daniels, thank you so much again for the 25. Thanks so much again for being part of the Drac Pack. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up, but because the battery, literally, I'm looking at the light and it's like, but I do want to say we do have the channel memberships live. If you guys want to become a member of the channel, you go to our main page. There's a big button that says join, I think in all caps or whatever. But it gives you guys some perks and benefits. And one of the perks and benefits that we have, besides just being at the end of like our videos and stuff, which we're still working on our live stream one. We had it updated, and for some reason, we work on StreamYard here. It has not worked. So we're trying to fix that, and we're trying to fix our stuttering issue still. But for our countdown series, some of those videos that we have that are not like important, like announcements or updates or anything like that,
but not time sensitive.
But we are going to have our members, anybody who's our channel members, whether it's Drac Pack or the Lil Boo fan club.
What was that?
And there was one more we forgot.
That was
Jack's Carnival or something like that. But anybody who's in the members there and stuff, we're going to actually go ahead and feature and premiere those videos a night before we drop them. Just because we're already in the works of making them, so we'll go ahead and feature them and premiere them the night before. So if you guys are members of the channel, you get to see it the previous night to when we actually will have it scheduled and posted. But if HHN's ever like, hey, announcement, we're getting to work as quick as we can, and we're going to put it up there for everybody so they can see that. But that's something that's one of the perks, as well as some other things we're working on. And maybe, I don't know, we mentioned this like a while ago, but maybe merchandise or something. Not for the channel, but just like Halloween stuff in general.
Yeah.
Because I don't really care for people to wear my name, like
it's just your name too,
Brian. Yeah, it's like it's like I want to see some cool like Halloween stuff, because Stephanie can create some pretty neat designs, so that'd be really neat to see. But anyway, so we got our channel memberships. You guys want to join there and be part of the channel, you guys are more than welcome to right here. I mean, just like I said, this Pilfer. I think I'm saying that wrong. I think I say it all right, wrong all the time. But just became a channel member, and also thank you, by the way. But I also think we're trying to even make it where if people became channel members, or the channel members went ahead and commented, they would have a special comment that popped up and like effects and all. We're working on a lot of things behind the screen here. But thank you so much for becoming a channel member. Drac Pack achieved. Let's go. But that's gonna be it for us, guys. I mean, we've had a lot to talk about. Like, we're already at an hour and 12 minutes. Yeah. But we have 1 month. HHN 31, guys. Got a lot of content coming your way. We've got a lot of things to talk about. It's going to be more of me just rumbling on and excited, because this is what we look forward to every year, guys. All year, every year. And it's finally that time. So thank you so much for everybody who's joined us today in the live. Everybody who's been watching us throughout the months. Yeah, this year. The previous months.
Even
like
year.
January, February, even last year,
Yeah,
like,
we've been doing this for over a year now.
Yeah, we've been at over a year. So everybody, thank you so much for the support and stuff. But this is our last, possibly last. This is our last live stream of July.
Oh, I was like,
this is it.
Last.
We're done.
I was like, what?
So this is our last live stream. We might have a video Sunday, the 31st. If not, though, this is it for July. And then we're officially in our countdown to HHN series, headed straight for the gates of HHN in 1 month.
So excited.
Exciting stuff. But anyways, hope you guys had a great time. Thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you guys again in those next videos. Episode 1 coming out Monday. Remember, go to the community page, leave a question, any question that you guys have, and we're going to go ahead and hopefully feature it in that video. If not, we'll talk about it next week in Friday's live stream. So, till then, that's going to be us for it. That's
going to be us for it.
We've hit our market. We're done, guys. Hope you guys have a great night, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out, everyone.
Bye.